Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this. Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we gotta talk about the political violence coming from the left and Democrats. Boy, it's starting to ratchet up, and boy, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'm telling you guys, we're not even into summer, but we're seeing it ratcheted up. But we're going to talk about that and so much more, guys. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, seriously, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, donate, and tip to Nikki's World, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links. First off is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut based social media company, and it's also an alternative to Facebook. So, guys, if you guys believe in your First Amendment right and you guys want to speak freely without fear of censorship, you guys can join me at minds.com. Also, guys, if you believe in your right to Second Amendment and you want to defend yourself in a less lethal manner, say hello to my friends at Byrna.com, guys. Byrna is the less lethal self-defense company. They make their Byrna SD, Byrna LE, TCR, Mission 4, and their newest compact launcher, guys. So if you guys believe in your right to Second Amendment, your right to self-defense, but you guys want to do it in a less lethal manner, guys, head on over to our friends at Byrna.com, guys. They will hook you up. And full disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, I do own a Byrna LE pistol myself. And also, guys, if you know someone who needs to wear adult diapers like I do, guys, and they know they need to be put in diapers like I do, guys, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply, guys. At North Shore Medical Supply, they have their top of the line Mega Max diaper. They have their top of the line North Shore Supreme pull ups, and they also have their Eternal boosters, guys. So if you know someone like me who needs to be put in adult diapers, who needs to wear adult diapers, guys, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply, guys. They will hook them up and they will get them padded up like I always do, guys. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, hey, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Wait, wow, yeah. Wait, wow, that was a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen. That was a mouthful. And yes, guys, I am diapered up as always. I'm in my North Shore Megamax diapers with my Turner boosters. I don't have my onesie on today because it's warm outside. So I'm just in my diaper and t-shirt as always, guys. So anyway, I'm padded up. So let's get on with the show, shall we? So anyway, guys, I want to talk about this, guys. Why is it, ladies and gentlemen, that Democrats seem to want to ratchet up the level of violence? You know, it's like the Democrats are gawing people into a fucking civil war in this country. Why is it, ladies and gentlemen? Why? Why? I'll give you this one article I want to talk about, and this is going to tie into to the example from the red state. Watch Representative Felicia Wilson calls on people to threaten Congress and encourages uprising. Okay, so basically, you have this Florida Democrat by the name of Representative Felicia Wilson, who is now encouraging and calling on people to basically threaten Congress. I've said this many, many times on the show here. We don't approve of violence to get your message across. We do not. The fact that this Florida Democrat is now calling for political violence against Congress, against Democrats, or I take that back, against like Republicans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. These people do not belong in Congress. These people do not belong in office. They don't. They don't, guys. The fact that you got this one Florida representative calling on constituents and people to threaten congressional people, including Republicans. I've said this many times on the show. I said this many times on the show. I will support your right to speak freely, but the day you start like threatening people, the day you start telling people to do this, do that, or say or harass, threaten, and all this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will not defend that shit. I will never defend that. I'll defend your right to speak freely, but when you're like calling for like violence, destruction, and death of your political opponents just because they don't agree with you, you're why your ass belongs in fucking prison. You're why your ass belongs in jail. A lot of people like me are fed up with the vitriol, with the shit. Just because your side lost the election, that you can't be an adult enough or mature enough to say, okay, we lost. We're going to take some retrospective. We're gonna try to, like, next time come out with a better messaging and all that. But no, look at what Democrats do. Democrats resort to violence. Democrats resort to like harassing Republicans, conservatives, libertarians, or anyone who wears a MAGA hat. That's not being the adult in the room. That is showing that the left is acting like a little child, for Christ's sakes. That just shows the left does not know how to behave properly. It really does. The fact that this Florida representative, who's a who she's a Democrat, is calling on political violence. I'm sorry. These people do not belong in office, let alone running the dog pound. Okay? These people do not. I'm sorry. These people belong in prison. Okay? The fact that people on the left who think that political violence solves everything, that political violence persuades people, I'm sorry. That does not work in any normal, sane society. I'm sorry. That does not work. I don't know what drugs you on, what world you think that solves everything. That does not. That gets you thrown in prison. That gets you a criminal record. That gets you a conviction. Okay? The fact that the left is resorting to political violence just because you don't agree with their ideology does not work. That does not work, man. That does not. And I remember there was a Dragnet episode, and if I find it, guys, I will link it in the description. It's a message that a lot in the left need to listen, need to hear. The fact that the left is willing to what? Throw shit at you, yell at you, assault you for your political opinion, and think that your rights are better than his? Let me tell you this. We remember in history there was a man who killed 6 million people and thought it was an improvement. Huh. Yeah, we remember a guy who killed 6 million people, and he thought it was right and moral. But then we had to go over there and kick his sorry little ass for it. Yeah, the left thinks the left thinks political violence, assaulting people, assaulting everyone because of their who they voted for, who they believe, who they supported for. That doesn't solve any shit. That doesn't, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't. In our Nikki's world, we will point out political violence. We will point out any Democrat, any leftist who uses political violence to push their ideology. We will point that out. We will shine a light on that. The fact that you people can't learn to agree and disagree is why sometimes I go like this. I wish I could do what I used to do in the 1980s and 90s. If you didn't, if you wanted to act like an asshole in front of someone just because you can't agree and disagree, I would just literally come up to your ass and just beat the living shit, slap your ass and toss you into a damn dumpster. That was back then in the 80s and 90s today. Now, in 2025, I just podcast it to y'all and then highlight the sheer idiocy from the other side. That's all I do. But back then in the 80s and 90s, we would do that, man. If you wanted to act like a jerk and all that, and saying that, oh, you can't, you disagree with me, and now I'm gonna do this and this and this. We would take your ass and throw you in the dumpster. Yeah, we would. Or back in my high school days, we shove your ass in a damn fucking locker. Yeah, I don't know how many people I shoved in a locker back then, or how many people, but but that's so far long ago. But anyway, the fact that this Florida representative is calling for political violence, people should just say to her straight up, "We don't approve of your bullshit." And I would say like this: if I saw her and she said that, I'd say like this: "Take your ghetto ass bitch back to the hood, because that's not how you behave properly." I would say that literally, because the fact that this Florida representative is calling for political violence just goes to show they can't behave in civilized society. Just goes to show that we are one step closer to a civil war in this country. Because the left wants to push political violence because they hate Donald Trump, they hate Republicans, they hate conservatives, they hate MAGA supporters, they hate libertarians. Telling you, Democrats, keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say like this: keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. Because I'm going to give you the analogy. You keep poking the bear. Because one of these days, that bear may get fed up. And then when they start attacking you, don't come crying that, oh, that bear poked me. He poked me. Well, what'd you do? I poked him. Hey, sucks on you, bitch. I would have said like this: you deserved it. It's that simple. The fact of the matter is, guys, the left is basically poking the bear. And I'm telling you, keep poking the bear, left, Democrats, liberals, keep poking the bear. Because I'm going to tell you right now, poke that bear so many times, once that bear gets fed enough and it gets fed up with your bullshit, and if it lashes out at you, I'm going to just say like this: you deserved the shit that you did. You deserved it. Okay? You deserved it. Give you another example, guys. Give you another example. From the Federalists, Democrat representatives urges protesters to harass congressmen at church. You have like this. While plotting upcoming protests, Representative Delela Ramirez, a Democrat out of Illinois, urged demonstrators to target congressmen at church. Folks, Democrats are starting to become unhinged. Democrats are starting to become mentally unstable. Democrats are starting to become violent. At this point, let's use the analogy of poking the bear, okay? Imagine the bear as a conservative, Republican, libertarian, MAGA supporter, and independent. The idiot, which is the Democrats, keeps poking the bear. What do you think's going to happen when the bear gets fed up with being poked? They're going to take their bare hands and bare claws and slash the living daylights out of the asshole that's poking the bear. And then I'm going to sit back here in my diaper and t-shirt and say, you deserve that. You deserve what you get. Because the fact of the matter is, Democrats are constantly poking and poking and poking to get a reaction, to get a violent reaction. And then they go crying like, oh, they were assaulting me, they were beating me up. Well, when we look at all the evidence and go, you started it, they just defended themselves. So the fact of the matter is, Democrats, leftists, liberals, and Antifa types, be careful what you do. I'm gonna give you a fair warning. You poke the bear so hard that the second it decides to lash out at you, I'm gonna tell you this right now, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be pretty. The bear, once it's had enough with your bullshit and decides to lash out, don't come crying to my face saying, "Oh, look at these evil MAGA supporters. Look at these evil Republicans. They were lashing out at me for this." Well, you started it. You started it. Don't cry to my face saying that, these evil MAGA supporters, they were doing this to me and all this. You started the whole shit. What do you want me to do? Defend them? No, I'm just gonna let them keep doing that because you started it. The fact that you can't behave in civilized society just goes to show that the level of fuck up that you wanted to do on the people, and the fact that you wanted to say to people that, oh, it's okay to promote violence in this, it's okay to harass Republicans over this, MAGA supporters over this. But then when they lash out at you, you cry and complain that, these evil MAGA supporters, they're harassing me and all this. Well, you started it in the first place, bitch. My generation growing up, you start shit, don't be surprised when they fight back. Don't be surprised. Something my generation, we grew up knowing. We don't start shit knowing that shit's gonna swing back harder. We don't start shit because we know if we start shit, shit's gonna end one way or the other. And it's gonna end in a way that you ain't gonna like. But I'm telling you this right now, guys. I'm telling you this right now. Democrats are pushing for an insurrection. Democrats are pushing for a civil war. Democrats are really, really pushing. They really are. The fact that they are trying to get a reaction and try to blame, oh, MAGA supporters are starting an insurrection, we should arrest them. But then when we look who's actually starting it, it's actually the Democrats. Yeah, it's actually them. You know, as I always say, whenever the left accuses you of doing something, always look behind the closet. Always look behind the door. Always look behind the wall. Because you know why? They're actually doing it themselves. But the fact that you got these two not Florida, you got these two representatives who are calling for political violence, I'm gonna do y'all one better. I'm calling for them to be primaried out of office. It's that simple. 2026 is next year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling for any Democrat who calls for political violence in this country to automatically be primaried out of office. It's that simple. I'm calling for them to be primaried out of office. And I'm going to make this fair warning fair. Any politician in the United States who calls for political violence in this country, I'm going to call for you to be primaried out of office. And you will face a primary. It's that simple. The left wants to call political violence. Guess what? I'm going to call for a primary on these representatives and say, folks, on my show, I will be calling for a primary on these two. These two need to be primaried out of office. It's that simple. And whoever's running against them, I will support them 100% and I will endorse them 100%. And I will even donate to them. It's that simple. The message is clear. Political violence does not solve anything. Political violence makes you look like an asshole, makes you look like a jerk, makes you look like you don't belong in civil society, makes you look like you belong in fucking prison, ladies and gentlemen. It makes you guys. It makes you. The fact that these people want to call for political violence shows me that they don't belong in Congress. They don't belong in office. They belong in prison. Yeah, they belong in prison. And these people who say, oh, political violence solves everything, say that to the man who killed 6 million people and who thought it solved everything. Say that to him. I like to hear you. I like to hear how you justify what he did many eons ago and why we had to go over there and clean up his mess. Say that, bitch. Say that. Because I want to hear that explanation right there. I really do, guys. I really, really do. But I want to say this, guys. I want to say this. Political violence doesn't solve anything. And the fact that Democrats, leftists, liberals, BLM Antifa types, and the pro Hamas thugs think that it does, say that to the man who killed 6 million people and who thought it solved everything. Yeah, say that, ladies and gentlemen. Say that because I like to hear your explanation. I really do, guys. I really do. But I will say this, guys. I I condemn political violence in this country. I abhor it, and that's indefensible in my opinion. And if you think that solves everything, you're why your ass belongs in a prison cell. Okay? Your ass is why you belong in a prison work farm. Because you think violence solves everything? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It makes you look like a jackass. Makes you look like an idiot. And I will say this for the billionth time until the day I die and the day I get put in cryonic suspension is that political violence doesn't solve anything. Political violence makes you look like a jackass, an asshole, an idiot, a retard. It makes you look like them. And if you think that makes you look good, bitch, 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 oh hell no, man, hell no. That makes you look like an asshole. That makes you look like a full-blown bloody idiot. As I'm standing here in my diaper and t-shirt, it makes you look like an idiot. It really does, guys. It really does. But believe me, guys, believe me, political violence doesn't solve anything. And if Democrats don't see that, they're going to keep losing election after election after election after election after election. They're going to keep losing. Okay? I'm telling you, as a Gen Xer, as a Gen Xer here, I'm telling you, doesn't solve anything. Makes you look like a, makes you look like an ass. Makes you look like an asshole. Yeah, it does. As I'm here in my diaper t-shirt, makes you look like an ass. It really does, guys. It really does. It makes you look like an ass. And for the life of me, never understand. I never understand, but you know, Democrats, they're all dumb and stupid and idiotic. Yeah, they really are. They really are, guys. Anyway, let's turn the page on this one, okay, guys? I want to talk about what happened 2 days ago in Yale University in Yale, New Haven, Connecticut. Okay, I don't live that far from Yale, New Haven, Connecticut. I live in the upper part of Connecticut, right? Yale, New Haven, Connecticut is not far from me. It's about like what, what, 20-minute ride for a 991. Yeah, but it's not that far from where I live. You have these upper upper rich kids, rich snotty kids who wear Muslim headscarf, who are supporting the pro Hamas terrorists, okay, who are basically anti-Jewish, who hate Jewish people, and who for some reason protest over someone from Israel coming to Yale to do a presentation. And these Yale and then these Yale pro Hamas fucking retards think that, oh yeah, we can harass Jewish people, we can throw stuff at them. I'll tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. I live in Connecticut. Toss these Hamas retards in Waterbury, Hartford, in Park Avenue or Frog Hollow section, or in the mean parts of Waterbury. These pro Hamas retards would get their ass knocked up so far upside the head by the time it's all said and fucking done, their sneakers would be tied on the telephone pole. Yeah, they would. But you know the problem is? These Yale retards who live in upper class, well to do communities, okay, with well funded schools, well funded police departments, who go to rich, expensive school like Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut, who protest this bullshit and who side with Hamas terrorists, which Hamas would literally, what, stone women for not covering head to toe, would throw gay people off the building for who they are, and these upper class liberals support people that would do that to their own kind? Folks, that's the definition of stupid. That's the definition of retard right then and there. That's the definition of insanity right there. The fact that these pro Hamas thugs support terrorists who would stone women to death, who would throw gay people or trans people off rooftops. They, these are the people that they're supporting? Folks, this is the definition of fucking retardedness. This is the definition of stupidity. I'll read you this headline from the Washington Free Beacon. Yale D recognizes Students for Justice in Palestine chapter after a group blocks Jewish students' access to parts of the campus. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Let's do this one better. Start arresting these kids. Start arresting these thugs. Throw them in jail, no bail. They have to wait until their arraignment like everyone else. Throw them in damn jail. No bail. This is why I go like this. No bail for these thugs. No bail for these pro Hamas thugs. Trust me, if they had to get bail, if they had to get bailed out, I'd be wanting to get my bounty hunter license. That way I could legally go after their snotty asses. Because you know why? It gives you free reign to go knock on the door, and drag them back to court one way or the other, and you get money. You get money. You get money because that's the legal way you can beat up on these pro Hamas thugs, these Antifa thugs. So all you got to do is be a bounty hunter, and if they get arrested, they go to jail. They get bailed out, and if they don't make it to court, judge signs a warrant and says, "Here you go, bounty hunter. You have the bench warrant to go after them." Hmm. Bet you how many people Bet you how many people would want to go to bounty hunter school just to be a bounty hunter, just to be able to go after these people like this legally in the court system. Bet you, bet you, bet you. But the fact that these Hamas pro-terrorist thugs who wear the Muslim headgear with the Branch Covidian mask, I'm telling you, these thugs. I know New Haven very well, Yale thugs. I know New Haven very well. If I would have dumped your ass in the roughest part of New Haven, your asses would not even survive one bit. Your asses would be at Yale New Haven Hospital where the surgeon's trying to pick off whatever they did to y'all. Telling you kids. Telling you, man. Telling you. Telling you. Even on here on Newsmax, Yale strips status of pro-Hamas student groups. I'd go one step further. I'd kick them out of college. I wouldn't even I wouldn't even like I wouldn't even allow them to transfer to another school. I'd kick them out permanently. Okay? I'd kick them out. At the same time, if these are foreigners who are pushing this shit, uh, where is Tom Homan? Are you not busy after talking to Mr. Trump? Can you run through Yale University for us, please? If you have the time, Mr. Holman, I know you're busy going after illegal criminals and all that. If you have the time, but I'm telling you this, man, these Yale thugs who live in upper class communities, and some of them I know where they live. Okay, they live in upper class towns who say they're pro Hamas, but then these pro Hamas idiots would get probably what tossed off the rooftop. Yeah, it just goes to show, guys. It just goes to show the level of lunacy that we see out of these people. It just goes to show. And if it were up to me, ladies and gentlemen, these pro Hamas thugs would have been thrown out of college a long time ago. They would have been booted out. I don't care what high price lawyer your mommy and daddy finds. Bye, gone. See ya. We don't want you. Bye. Boom. And then if I were the Yale president, I'd go like this. Don't admit anyone who is pro Hamas. It's that simple. It's that simple. Just say like this. If you have pronouns in your bio, or if you have a pro Hamas in your bio, bye, gone. We don't want you. We don't want you on campus. We would say like this. We're rejecting your application. You can go somewhere else for all I care. Uh-huh. But I would do that in a heartbeat. I know Trump is doing that by telling a lot of these Ivy League schools saying, "Oh, if you have these pro Hamas thugs, we're not funding your school. We're gonna strip away your funding. You can be like Hillsdale College, who doesn't take in federal money. You can, guys. Yeah. Let's see how well these. Let's see how well these liberal. Let's see how these liberal leagues survive. Yeah. Let's see, guys. Let's see. Let's see. But I will tell you, man. I will tell you, man. If I had to, if I was in New Haven and all of a sudden I was interrupted by these leftist protesters, I guarantee I'd toss half of them in the dumpster right now. I guarantee almost all of them would be run out of the dumpster. I guarantee. I guarantee you, man. I would just take them and go like this and do what I would do in the 80s. Throw them in the trash. Yeah, that's what I would do. Throw them all in the trash can. That's where they belong. That's where they belong, guys. But anyway, I want to talk about these two articles from the Red State and Daily Wire, guys. I want to talk about this. From the Red State, Meta accepts biological reality. Comments on trans air quote women aren't hate speech. This is from the Red State. Even on the Daily Wire. After review, Facebook says misgendering doesn't violate its hate speech policy. Gee, I wonder why Meta is doing that. Could it be because they're facing an FTC lawsuit and they're trying to be nice to the FTC, saying that, oh, we're reversing our policy on this. We're reversing it. We're saying that, oh, it's not hate speech. It's not this and this and this. After years of throwing people out of Facebook for for saying the biological reality, and now you're trying to say, oh, we're not gonna we're trying to be nice and saying, oh, it's not. I believe the reason why Meta is doing this, and hear me out, ladies and gentlemen, hear me out. They're doing this because they know they're being sued in federal court for antitrust violations. They are being sued because they know, ladies and gentlemen, they can't win. And I'm sorry if you heard that ding on my email app. I do apologize. And they can't win, guys. They know they can't win. So, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, is this: Facebook is trying to suck up to the federal government. Facebook is trying to say to the federal government, oh, we're sorry, we changed our ways. We're going to allow that to go through. We're going to be able to say that they can say that, oh, that trans air quote women are men. We're going to be able to allow them to say that. They're saying that because they know that they're being sued in federal court. The antitrust lawsuit that is going on in Washington, D.C., okay, they're being sued. And if the federal government wins the antitrust lawsuit, all this playing nice to people, trying to kiss up to our asses, saying, oh, we're sorry, we want to play nice. We're not buying it, Mark Zuckerberg. We're not buying it for shit. Okay? We're not. We're gonna hope the court agrees with the FTC and forces you to sell off Instagram and WhatsApp. Okay? And then your company will just falter. Okay? It's pretty much explanatory, guys. The fact is, guys, Meta is desperately trying to stave off losing the FTC lawsuit. They are trying to stave off, knowing that if they lose, their whole monopoly falls right out the window. Their whole charade falls right out. It really does. The fact of the matter is, guys, Meta will never be able to recover from any FTC lawsuit. They'll lose. They'll lose. They'll lose. And telling you this right now, guys, Telling you this right now, there is no way that Meta will be able to recover after the FTC lawsuit. And I'll say this, I'll be glad that they will lose. I will be glad that they lose. Here's my reason on that. Many times on Facebook when I was on their platform, okay, they often like what blocked, suspended me for what telling the biological truth and biological reality, and then all of a sudden, like a couple months ago, I got booted off like Instagram and Facebook. Luckily, I was able to get it back and separated the two. Okay. But I got booted off Facebook because they accused me of being a fraudulent person, which I didn't do anything fraudulent, but they booted me out without even looking at my platform or looking at my profile and all that stuff, you know? And I sit there and I go, I'm not sorry if you lose the FTC lawsuit. I'm not sorry if you lose the FTC lawsuit. Sucks to be you because you know why? I got alternative social media platforms, guys. I'm not on Facebook. I've been on Facebook since when they first started in college, all the way up to like what, 2024? And now? And now they're facing an FTC lawsuit? I go like this. Not my problem, bitch. Not my problem. You lose the FTC lawsuit, I'm going to sit there and party like if it's 1999, ladies and gentlemen, and say, what? You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. This is what you get. This is what you get. Yeah. This is what you get, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you get. And I'm telling you, man, Meta is trying to start off an FTC lawsuit. They know if they get sued, they lose. And when they lose, ladies and gentlemen, they lose royally. And when they lose, their standing in the social media world is going to drop like a fucking rock. It really is, guys. It really is. But I want to tell you this. I'm not going to cry when Facebook has to sell off WhatsApp and Instagram because I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Whatever Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do to kiss up to people, saying, "Oh, misgendering would not get you booted off of Facebook." We're not buying it, bitch. We're not buying it. We're not buying it. And I'm telling you, we're gonna champion the FTC lawsuit. And when you lose, we're gonna celebrate big time. We are. We're going to celebrate royally. Because I'm telling you this right now, guys. When they lose royally. They lose big time. Because I'm gonna sit there, clap my hands like this, and go, bravo, they lost. Thank God. Now that Facebook has to sell off Instagram and WhatsApp because they wanted to act like leftist thugs and wanted to silence people for speaking the truth and not allowing people to decide. They get what they deserve, ladies and gentlemen. They get what they deserve. And I'm telling you guys, they get what they deserve, man. They really do. They really, really do. Anyway, I want to talk about the the left again, okay? I want to talk about this. All right? This article really, really guys. This article really reminds me of why we are not the same when it comes to like boycotting things. We are not the same. Okay? I'll give you an example. When we boycotted Bud Light because they wanted to hang with the trans cult and Dylan Mulvaney bullshit, we didn't trash people who was selling Bud Light. We said no, we're not buying your shit. We're not buying your shit. Okay? Giving you an example. This article from Breitbart. Democrats threaten Salvadorian people to get MS-13 suspect back to the USA. Okay? Read you the first two paragraphs. El Salvadorians are pulling themselves out of poverty and gang wars, but Democrats want left-wing Americans to kick them in the teeth by boycotting their tourist destination. In the next paragraph, vote with your feet, Senator Chris Van Hollen of Democrat told audience at Semfor's World Economy Summit on Wednesday. Nearby, Costa Rica is a beautiful place. You don't have to go to El Salvador as tourists, said Van Hollen. See, here's the thing. Democrats Democrats are boycotting going to El Salvador, okay? Because they won't pander to them by releasing MS-13 thugs back to the U.S., which because they're terrorists anyway. El Salvador lists them as terrorists. We list them as terrorists too. So you know what? Democrats are saying, "Oh, if you don't release them, we're boycotting your country." I know Naive is going like this. I don't have to worry. Because Republicans and conservatives all love to come to El Salvador, including myself, because I'd love to go. I'd love to go there to learn to surf. I love to go there to go fishing. I love to go there to go hiking. I hear they got some of the best coffee in the world. You know, I know El Salvador's got some of the best coffee, which I would love to have another cup of their coffee, guys, if you're willing to donate, you know. But Democrats want to boycott El Salvador. Keep doing that, Democrats, because that's going to be you're losing. That's going to be one way you lose the election. Keep doing that, bozos. Keep doing that, guys. Keep doing that, because that's how you lose elections instantly, guys. That's how you lose elections, okay? Because the Democrats don't know how to win people over. Okay, this by saying that boycott, their so-called boycott's going to fall flat on their face. Okay, their so-called boycott is literally going to fall flat on their face. It literally is, guys. It literally is. But I'm telling you, their boycott is not the same as ours. Their boycott is not the same. Their boycott's gonna ain't gonna last that long because then people are gonna be like this. Why would you want to release terrorists into back into this country? Yeah, their boycott is not gonna last long, guys. And their boycott's not the same. So whenever Democrats are gonna say that they're boycotting and like El Salvador, I'm gonna just start working with El Salvador. I'm gonna start promoting that country more. I'm gonna start saying, "Hey, what can we do to help you guys out? What can we do to make El Salvador great again? What can we do to help El Salvador out?" Like for example, I'm strong on maritime defense. I would love to help El Salvador rebuild their navy. You know what I mean? Their navy is not doing that great. They need maritime security because they know they have narco drug traffickers who try to transport drugs to their country by water. I'd love to help rebuild their navy into a Coast Guard style navy. I'd love to help them. I'd be like this. I'd be like this. I'd be calling all my Republican congressmen and saying, "Hey, let's get El Salvador Let's help build their military. They helped us. We should help them. We should. Yeah, we really should. Anyway, guys, I do believe it. I do too. Yeah, I do too. Anyway, before we go, guys, I want to talk about this. This came on my like X feed this morning. A lot of my conservative pundits I follow on X blasted this out. And this blasted on on the red state. Gloves have come off. Trump administration arrests sitting judge in Wisconsin for harboring an illegal alien. Telling you, we are now enforcing federal law. And the judges who are aiding and abetting and refusing to follow the law, they're now going to face consequences. And thank God for Cash Patel and Dan Bongino for doing this. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dan, if you ever want to run for office, come on. After your time in the FBI, we'll help you. I'll come down to Florida and promote for you. I'll come down to help you. I'll come down. I'll support, donate for you. I really will, guys. But I will say this. Bravo, Dan. Bravo, Cash. It's time to tell these leftists, like judges, you're not the fourth branch of government, okay? You don't get to dictate what the president can and cannot do. You need to stay in your lane. And if you don't stay in your lane, there's going to be hell to pay. And hell to pay is when Cash Patel and Dan Bongino come to your bench and drag your ass to jail. Bravo, Cash. Bravo, Dan. Come on. I want to see more of this, man. I want to see more of this. I really do, guys. I really do. I really want to see more of this. Okay? Can we get more? Can we get more Cash? Can we get more, Dan? Start making these like tyrannical judges live in fear, saying, "Oh, if you're not following the rule of law, like it's set out in the Constitution, then you need to be removed." It's that simple. It's time to enforce the rule of law, whether they like it or not. And if these judges don't, then I'm telling you right now, hey JD, when you're done taking your family on vacation, can you come back and start removing these judges for us? Much appreciated. I know family comes first, but after you're done, we got some business to take care of. You know? We really do. We really do. Wow. Wow, guys. That was a good show, man. That was a good show. That was a good show today. But before we go, I want to ask you all this opinion. I'm considering selling merchandise on the show, like, t-shirts, coffee mugs, posters, especially posters for my photo shoots, guys. So, you guys think if it's a good idea or bad idea, let me know. Put your opinion in the comments below. I do read them. Send me an email too. I do read them too, guys. Okay, but let me know if you think this is a good idea or bad idea. Let me know. And if it's a good idea, let me know. I will consider selling merchandise on the show. All right. So anyway, guys, I thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Y'all have a good weekend. I'll see y'all on Monday. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.